we have to find the absolute extreme values of the function we're given on this interval, okay? An extreme value is a min or a max, and absolute just means that it is the biggest value on the interval. Okay, so anytime you see min or max, think derivative set equal to 0. Okay, so here's our function that we have. Let's find its derivative. Don't forget all the derivative rules that we learned last unit. We have to use product rule, right? F, G. So we're gonna have 3x squared e to the negative 3x minus 3e to negative 3x, x cubed. Set this equal to 0. Let's see what these guys have in common so we can factor out. I have a 3 on both, I have an x squared on both, and I have this e term. So when I factor that out, I'm going to be left with 1 minus x. So either 1 minus x is equal to 0, or 3x squared e to the negative 3x is equal to 0. In this case, we're going to have x equals 1. And here we're going to have x equals 0, because this is never 0. So this whole product is equal to 0 when 3x squared is 0, and that only happens when x is 0. Okay, so now we have two critical points that are in the running for max or min, absolute ones. We also need to figure out what these guys have for their y values on the original graph. So let's do an x and f of x chart where we plug those four numbers into the original. So we have to do 1, 0, negative 1, and 3. If I plug 1 into my original, it looks like I'm going to have 1 cubed e to the negative 3 times 1, which is just e to the negative 3, which is 1 over e cubed. If I plug in 0, I'm just going to have 0 times something, 0. If I plug negative 1 in, negative 1 cubed e to the negative 3 times negative 1 gives me 3. So I'm going to be negative e cubed. If I plug 3 in, I'm going to have 3 cubed e to the negative 3 times 3. So we're going to have 27 e to the negative 9. Okay, which is 27 e to the 9. So now we just have to figure out which of these numbers is the largest and which one's the smallest. Well, I only have one negative y value. So we can already say this is our min, our absolute min. I think we can rule out 0 because I have two other positive values. So this guy is not an absolute extreme value. Now it's just down between this guy and this guy. Well, remember, e is like 2.72 something, right? If I put that to the 9th power, that's going to be a really large number. So 27 divided by e to the 9th is very small. It's probably very close to 0. So I think 1 over e cubed. 1 over e cubed is like almost 1 over 27. Almost, right? Because e is pretty close to 3. So it looks like this is going to be our absolute.